Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is always a pleasure to check in with my dear friend, has so many insights, so many wonderful things to share. If you could share your first and last name and all you are up to.
Cheldin. I'm, of course, Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and, of course, the author of Crack the Code, 10 Proven Secrets that Motivate Healthy Behavior and Inspire Fulfillment in Men Over 50.
Ah, so
Great
good.
to see you.
So good to see you. So good to see you. And all of you who follow us and have been paying attention to this program know that we cheat a little before we get started, get some insight as to what it is that we'll be talking about during this time. And I love this one. I think this is going to be so important for all of you that are listening and watching. What are we talking about today?
Cheldin, today we're talking about potato chips, pretzels, sugary drinks, and even frozen dinners. Why? Because they're all classified, all examples of what we would call ultra processed foods. And what's behind that? Well, for the first time, the committee that's putting together the 2025 dietary guidelines for the U.S. Departments of Health and Human Services and Agriculture are focusing on ultra processed foods. Why is that? Because of the growth and the prevalence in obesity in this country. And they're concerned about weight management and weight reduction. And the link, frankly, between obesity and chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. And so there's this new focus. There's advocates have been crying for this for a long time, and they're very happy that this has finally come about.
Right.
One advocate, for example, one scientist believes that in the United States, each year, 678,000 Americans die from chronic food illness, and that there's mounting evidence that ultra-processed foods are causing much of this harm.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, to think about what's in our fridge, what's in our refrigerators, what's in our cabinets, and what is in there. I mean, I think that we are very much a convenience-based culture, right? What's going to be the quickest? I mean, especially from a two-parent working household or a single-family household who's working really hard and then trying to feed, right, to the best of their ability. I mean, I want everybody who's watching and listening that this isn't judgment-based. This is just really preventative and education-based conversation. We understand why at least I understand why we're going to these foods as easy fixes for meals, as easy fixes for some cravings. But I think we're now beginning to understand the real effect that these foods are beginning to have and have had on us in the past.
Well, another reason behind the focus on ultra-processed foods is that, and what's kind of scary, is that they make up, according to experts, 58%, just about 58% of the American diet. So we are consuming a lot of ultra-processed foods. Now, these foods are they have an addictive quality to them. And recent studies have showed from the University of Michigan that older Americans in particular have a growing propensity to become have cravings and addictive features regarding this. But they're convenient, they're tasty, and they're also designed to make the product have a long shelf life.
Exactly.
So and also you can't forget this, to save money. They're much cheaper to manufacture using ultra-processed ingredients than natural ingredients.
For sure, for sure. I believe, I always believe that the intention was good, right? To be able to say, okay, you have this particular product and it's going to last on your shelf. Your dollar is going to be able to stretch. We're going to be able to feed larger families and be able to do that. But there is a cost. And the cost isn't necessarily monetary. It's based on your health and well-being of eating these foods that are your food shouldn't last years at a time in your cabinet. They shouldn't not go bad, right? And maybe that's a clear indicator of the situation. So it is, and I think that also, I'd love for you to shed light, because I also think that we don't really know what is ultra packaged, right? Like, I think that people are going and they're just assuming it's in a frozen food section, it's packaged, it's all packaged things bad. Like, I would just like your opinion, not to say that you're a spokesman for the category, but would just like, to guide the folks as to, what falls into that category.
Well, ultra processed foods are made up of ingredients that sound very chemical like. So when you're reading the ingredients, if you see words that you don't understand of ingredients that you wouldn't find in your kitchen, there's a strong likelihood that the product has been ultra processed. So these are things like fats, starches, sugars, salts, hydrogenated oils extracted from other foods. These are, in general, what they call modified ingredients that have been put together in the lab, again, to make products last longer, to taste better, and to really just make things convenient for folks. What you want to do is get to more natural foods, obviously. What the folks at MD Anderson in Houston did, the cancer experts did, they put a spectrum together and said, look, on one end, we've got what we call unprocessed foods, like whole grains, oats, apples, natural products. In the middle are processed foods that have maybe just a few added ingredients, like canned vegetables and such, that are okay, or pasteurized milk even. But then we have on the far end, the ultra processed foods. These are what some would call junk foods, things that are designed, one expert uses the term, these are designed to preserve shelf life, not human life. So, those that are, have looked into this, see some real concern here. So that's, if you look on the ingredients and you see a lot of things that you don't recognize, there's a good chance they're ultra processed.
Yeah, if you can't pronounce it, it's a good.
Yeah.
It's if it has more letters than a sentence, most
Right.
likely it's not in your favor. We
Right.
created it in a lab in order to be able to keep something on a shelf or in a store for longer periods of time. So the guidance and the advice from this is go to more natural products, go to more
Yeah.
less highly packaged, less processed food in that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And in particular, find substitutes instead of the sugary drinks, try to use water, drink water or other things like that. Try to cook at home with natural foods, stay away from the convenience stores and the fast food stores,
Sure.
and really be more cognizant of the fact that you can probably, come up with more natural products if you cook at home. Sometimes that's not available, but when you're even in a restaurant, look at what's on the menu and think about that. And then with snacks, keep healthy snacks around, the nuts, the fruits, the vegetables, the carrot sticks and things like that. And also, one thing out of my playbook is do it as a family, do it, as part of a team, with spouses and whatever, because the more that you can shape that culture in your home of more natural foods, then you're more likely to stick with the program over the long haul. And that's really the ultimate goal here.
That is the ultimate goal. I find that prepping helps, right? I think that we move so
Yes.
fast, at least in my household. And so if I'm waiting till the last minute, it's very tempting to go
Yep.
to something that is easy to make, that is easy, but if I prep it, which again is a journey in and of itself, but if I do prep it for the week, then it's already done. So I have the ability to, again, we're eating it that week. It doesn't spoil. We're able to get it right into, the skillet or what have you and put it on the table. So that is the only advice I think I can contribute to.
Well, it's great. It's right out of the healthy behavior playbook. You're spot on.
I love it. As usual, you are spot on and you're giving us all the advice that we need in order to live a healthy life. If individuals would like to, and I know they do, would like to follow, fan, and like you and get more information about all that you've got going on, where do they find that information?
On social media at Louis Bezich, on my website, just like over my shoulder here, 50plusmen.com. And if you want to learn more and read my full article about ultra processed foods on Philly Voice, go to phillyvoice.com/Bezich and you can see the full article.
Oh, it is that simple. Get in touch with my dear friend. You will never be disappointed. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.